And welcome everyone to the Positively Gainesville podcast, our time twice a month where we go through some of the great things going on in our community, some of the organizations that make this a great place to live. And one of those, no doubt, would have to be the Boys and Girls Club of Cooke County. It's been around for a long, long time, has served most every boy and girl in Cooke County. It's hard to find anybody who hasn't gone through those doors at the Boys and Girls Club over the years. And on the podcast today, we are very happy to be joined by the chairman of the board of directors, Sandy Schmitz, and also the new CEO of the Boys and Girls Club, Josh Chapman. And welcome to both of you. We're going to start with Sandy. First of all, the Boys and Girls Club, wow. I mean, like I said, it has really impacted so many kids over the years. What has gotten you involved in wanting to volunteer with the Boys and Girls Club?
I guess it started back when my daughters were young and they were in Campfire, because Campfire was done there. And Tricia West was a good friend of mine, and she talked me into being on the board and loved everything they did for the kids, and so it was dear to my heart.
And it still is, obviously, to this day. Tell me, what sort of feelings do you get when you see kids that are impacted? Because, like we said, there's really not anybody in Cooke County that hasn't been impacted in one way or the other by the Boys and Girls Club.
I agree. I spent a lot of time up there prior to Josh, and to watch those kids come through and being hungry or whatever and being able to feed them and to help them read and watch them mature and just grow every day, it's pretty impactful.
Yeah, and you're the chair, but you have a great board. We don't have to mention every single person unless you've got the list in front of you, but these are all volunteers, volunteer their time, and I'm sure they will tell the same story that you just did of how they are happy to serve because they want to impact boys and girls in our area, but just how much work goes into, I mean, there is a lot of work that goes into being on the board, right?
There is. We have our fundraisers, which is very important to maintain the club, and the board is very supportive to us and to help Josh in any way we can. But fundraising is very important with our board. Yeah,
and let's mention that you've got some big fundraisers, of course. The golf tournament always raises a lot of money, and then, of course, you've got the gala. Mm-hmm. Is there anything else? How else do you raise funds for the Boys and Girls Club?
In February, we have a tailgate party, which we sell a football board, and watch the Super Bowl. So
that it's a fun event. I have yet to go, but I may have to put that on the calendar because it looks like y'all have a lot of fun.
We do. February 3rd. We have another fundraiser that a local photographer, and she's gearing up for that right now, and we do that sometime in December. Miranda Mars does Jolly Jammies, so some
fun
pictures. You can come.
I'll have to get my pajamas for that
That's
first,
right.
though. But you wouldn't be able to do the things you do without donations. I mean, there are fees that are charged to be a member, but I'm sure that those do not even come close to covering the cost of the programs that y'all do, plus the new facility you have.
That is correct. And we have very, very supportive community that we put it on Facebook when we need things, and we get overwhelming response. It's great.
Yeah, and I'm going to turn now to Josh and bring him into the discussion. Josh Chapman, the new CEO. Now, you have been here how long, Josh?
6 months last week.
So what has it been like? What are your impressions of Gainesville so far?
Well, where I was from, they got 18 inches of snow last week, and it was 70 yesterday. So it's all good in my book. No, Gainesville is probably one of the most giving communities I've ever been a part of. Most friendly communities I've ever been a part of. I've made jokes that, I thought it was a joke in the recruiting process to get me to come down here, how friendly everyone, but everyone is just genuinely good folks. It's a great community. It's a supportive community, and it's got all of the unique charms of a small town. So everybody knows everyone, everybody supports everyone, and so it's a neat little town.
Now, were you involved with the Boys and Girls Club in Michigan before you moved down here?
I was not. I was a YMCA kid, so I came up through the YMCA. There's a lot of transferable pieces, but YMCA guy came in through youth development, did a lot of the same programming, a lot of the same things that we do here. But I was a YMCA guy, and I found my way to Gainesville.
Well, certainly glad you did. What age kids are able to use the programs and the facilities at the Boys and Girls Club? Who do you serve?
So we serve all kids, school-age kids, so kids that are in first grade up to their senior year in high school, so 6 to 18. And we're looking at, obviously, we're always keeping in mind, younger kids, and should we offer programmatic things for younger kids, families. But, as we stand right now, it's first grade through seniors in high school.
Yeah, and I think people mistakenly think that the Boys and Girls Club is all about sports. Because a lot of us grew up playing sports at the Boys and Girls Club. But you do have football, you have basketball, you have softball, you've added volleyball over the years. There may be others I'm forgetting. But y'all offer so many more programs than just sports. Just tell us, I know you aren't able, because we only have like 10 minutes, but you can't tell us all of the programs, but some of the ones that are near and dear to your heart that y'all offer right now.
Well, I'm sad you cut me off at only 10 minutes. No. So I think sports is a big piece. We serve a lot of kids in our community through sports. A selfish plug, we have our futsal indoor soccer program getting ready to start back up in February as well. So if you want to play soccer over the winter, there's an opportunity there. But moving on from sports, one of the things that we really focus on is academics. So ensuring that kids are academically strong and post-graduation success, whether that's college, trade school, the military, making sure that when kids graduate high school, when they leave the club, so to speak, they have a plan. They have the tools to be successful. Really what we're doing with the academic success part, we have great volunteers. So we offer the bug room. So we have volunteers that come in from the community. Kiwanis supports us, a lot of different folks, and we ensure that kids are getting the adequate help that they need. And homework, making sure that they have the materials that they need to do their projects, different things like that. We have a reading initiative. So all kids that come in are getting 20 minutes of reading time. So we know literacy is important, and when we look at the data in our community, we have a great opportunity to impact that with the amount of kids that we serve. So, we have that 20-minute reading. We have our Wind Down Wednesday at 7 o'clock tonight, ironically enough, another selfish plug. I'm going to continue to do that, so full disclosure. So we're focusing on that. We have our STEM lab, so science, technology, engineering, and math. Our tech lab, our art room. So really trying to give kids a full variety of opportunities to let them discover their passion, find out the things that they're really interested in, and give them that diversity of programming. And on the workforce or the readiness piece, again, exposing kids to things that they may not see, taking them. We have a trip coming up to TWU and North Texas University to get some kids on a college campus. So kids that maybe have never seen a college campus, first generation college students, really kind of taking that fear away if that isn't a barrier, or just getting some exposure. So we're really excited about that opportunity. All of our kids have filled out their FAFSA form. So our middle school kids, they're getting practice. Our high school kids, they're getting experience on that piece, because again, we want to make sure that if we're talking to a young person about going to college, we want to make sure that the financial barrier is understood. What's the difference between student loans versus grants versus scholarships and all of those pieces. So we have, we have a million other things going on. I will tell you from what I see, it's the kids at Cooke County are very fortunate to have, not only the things that the Boys and Girls Club offer, but all of the things that the community provides to the club. The banks coming in to do fiscal literacy, different organizations that have expertise. We're going to have some folks come in to teach kids how to change a tire, how to change their oil, and so we're truly blessed, and we're really excited to offer that opportunity.
Yeah, and all of the things you mentioned are great, but they still are able to have fun.
Yeah,
Y'all do have lots of fun things for them to do. I know in the summer you take them to the Leonard Park Aquatic Center, they get to swim. Of course, you've got that beautiful facility. They can go outside and play. They can play inside when it's too hot or too cold. So the Boys and Girls Club continues to be a fun place, but also, as Josh said, a place for you to learn. And before we leave you, Josh, how about a plug for your staff? Because I know you couldn't do it without the great staff that you have there.
Absolutely. So I appreciate that. We have top-notch folks. I mean, they do it every day. They love on the kids every single day. They're there for those kids. And, it's the little things. You would be surprised how many kids come in and they're just so excited to see Miss Kennedy or Miss Misty or Mr. Marvin or Miss Nancy and tell them they got a good grade here, or they drew them a picture, or get that hug, because that may be the first hug and the last hug that they get for that day. Without those guys, I mean, they make it happen every day. I tell everyone I'm lucky because I have a bunch of smart folks that I can hide behind so nobody finds out how dumb I am. They make it happen. They do it every day.
Well, hats off to them, because I know they probably, you have to work there, you have to really enjoy your job, because there are some trying times when you're dealing with 400 kids a day, but they do a great job, and you have a great staff. Sandy, I'm going to go back to you, because a lot of, over the last 5 years, and really less than that, the campaign was on to build this new facility, because the old one down on Hurd Street had served its purpose. Probably a long time
Correct.
ago it finished serving that purpose, but a lot of us remember our time at 315 Hurd Street, but now you have this beautiful new facility, and the community and a lot of generous donors were able to make that possible. Just tell us about that process and how important that has been to the programs that y'all want to do at the Boys and Girls Club.
It has, and we're very, very fortunate. We were able to build that 32,000 square foot facility debt-free because of all the generous support throughout the community.
It is not any new plans. I mean, what's the next? I mean, y'all spent so much time and work to get this one built, but y'all are always, I'm sure, thinking of the future as a board. What's kind of on the horizon for the Boys and Girls Club?
Well, it did take us 8 years to fund that, and we're just trying to keep it going, and like you said, we're always looking in the future to see if we'll need to expand, but we built it plenty big, so right now we're good.
All right. Well, Josh told me off the air that he wants a indoor swimming pool, so I don't know if that's next or not, but I hear a lot of people in town that always had that dream, and right now it's just a dream. But again, the great things the Boys and Girls Club do in our community, and it's been going on since 1947. Josh, welcome to Gainesville. Hopefully you're here for a long time.
Thank you.
Sandy, thank you to you and the board and everybody that volunteers. There's the Positively Gainesville podcast for another week here from the Cooke County Sports Talk studio at Liberty Crossing.